Okay. Sorry. So then.
Hold on.
What?
Okay. On mine, it said the broadcast had ended. I was like,
Need to refresh.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Sorry about that. Everyone have a nice little drink to that.
I've had 3 since you were gone. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Lady Kavara then said for the party and the rest of the clan to take 4 days to themselves and come back in 4 days while she tries to find some information on her own. So that is where we left off. The party are all still there in the inner sanctum. The evening is now yours.
Right, so we have some downtime to kill at this point. I believe Dorian and Cassandra were going to go to the Malkavian residence again. Is that right?
That's correct, because I spoke with Kate and she said she wants to spend time with Liam and with Farah to train. So she would like to go back to the Malkavian sanctum.
Right. That's correct. Did we already have that conversation about you guys coming with us on to wherever it is Dorian was going, or no? Have we not done that yet? I don't remember where we sort of ended last session.
Last session, everyone was kind of going off on their own, but no one really left the sanctum per se. So you're all still in the very close vicinity to each other, but no one has made solidified plans.
Morgana and Vance currently having fun devouring people in the club.
I'm sorry, that's right. Yes, you two are in the private room, feasting on Chad and Brad.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did.
Mine's did too, and Vance is feeling fruity.
Okay.
Well, Ambrose is going to exit Lady Kafara's chambers, and he's going to weave through the crowds to find the emissary that Lady Kafara pointed out.
Okay.
So he weaves through the crowds, and could he see him? Is he visible to Ambrose if he surveys the crowd?
Give me a perception alertness. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Yep. Two. Second. 2 successes out of the 2 dice I rolled.
Okay,
2
cool.
apes.
All right. So you look over the crowd and whatnot, and you're seeing all the different kindred, and you're seeing everyone in different suits, different dresses, and all sorts of different types of clothing and whatnot. And you see this one guy who's looking very well dressed in an exceptionally fine pressed suit. He's got manicured eyebrows and a sharp pointed goatee. However, the thing that stands out to you most is that he has a mirror in one hand, and with a thumb he just pushes in his cheek, looks at it, and then rearranges it and looks at it again, does it to the other side. And every time that he pushes, you see that the skin molds to where he's going, as if his face is putty.
So Ambrose, while he's doing this, he strolls up to him and looks him up and down. You must tell me who your tailor is. Oh. And he stares at his cheek as he's doing that. Those are some high cheekbones. Lovely. Oh, Ambrose Windsor. How sleepy.
He doesn't bother shaking your hand as he continues looking himself and perfecting his face. He goes, Ambrose Windsor. We know of you. Everyone knows Ambrose Windsor. Your face, it was everywhere. He looks at you a little bit and goes, it's almost perfect. Raises the mirror and goes, almost perfect.
Yes, a little advice. Maybe a little higher right here. You're looking quite tight. I mean, lovely, darling. You're looking And he just sort of like pauses. Lady Kafara has told me that you're an emissary of sorts and that you could possibly help me. And what do you mean, nearly perfect? Mm.
Nearly perfect. Well, and he puts his mirror back in his pocket, takes his thumbs and just shapes his thumb alongside your jaw, and the little bit of baby fat that's there now tightens up, and it looks like you've just lost several years. You got one several years back in your youth and everything just looks nice and squared, and just that's what you were missing. He said, "Perfect. Yes,
I don't know.
I am the emissary of the Tismika clan. My name is Xavier."
Yes, well, I don't know whether to be offended or not. Thank you. Oh, that does feel nice. Lovely. Anyway, there was an incident that happened. I don't know if I should talk about it here, but I thought perhaps you could help me. Something to do with, well, what you're doing.
Um, as you're talking to him, you're seeing him inspecting his forearm and everything, and there's several different scars on there. And he looks at you, and goes, "What I'm doing, or what I'm trying to do." I want to put you on pause right there. I want to go over to Dorian.
Dorian's essentially still making his way out to with Cassandra. He's going to go to the drop her off and then do his thing. You guys said the two of you were at the club, right?
They're still in the club. Yeah, they're in the private room. So they had left the sanctum, but they're inside of the club. Yes.
Right. I believe there was talk about asking if anyone else wanted to go as well. So let's see if Dorian will take a minute because we have to pass by the club to go outside anyway. To maybe see if we can find them, maybe poke and prod them, see if they want to go.
Yeah, sure. So you can go out of the sanctum and you make your way up into the main catwalk and whatnot. You make your way down and you tap the shoulder of the bouncer that is protecting the alleyway and the catwalk up to the elevator. And he looks at you, moves to the side, and goes, "You here for the party too?"
Yeah, sort of. I'm looking for people that are in the party.
He just nods at you, and just starts shoving people out of the way. This guy's like 6'5", built like a ton of bricks, just like shoving people out of the way. And he ushers you forward and just pushes the wall aside. And you walk in and you see Vance and Morgana both just enjoying themselves. And you see a beautiful black woman sitting in the back of the private area. One arm draped around the back of the circular sofa, and she's sipping from a goblet. And she says, "We weren't expecting a third."
I think from that, Morgana would look up and you just see red all over her face. Oh! Dorian?
You know,
Okay.
you've been surprising me for the past at least 24 hours. I'm okay with this, Morgana.
Yeah, well, the past 24 hours have been hell, so.
Vance is just gonna lean his head back and just be like, "Oh, hello."
You not as surprising. Look, first of all, finish your meals. Don't just leave them half drunk. Second off, we've got some days to kill. What do you got? What are you two doing? Because I am going to be going to my feeding grounds, and I was wondering if you wanted to join.
Well, there were some things I wanted to do, but they wouldn't take all day or night. I wouldn't mind. Vance?
I was just gonna do a little bit of bar hopping. Start a few problems. I don't mind.
Well, there's a bar where we're going.
Fun.
And I was also possibly going to cause some problems. So if you want to come
You're
with,
definitely going to be causing problems.
Vance is just gonna look at Novelette like, is it okay?
Novelette has put her goblet down at this point, and she's just resting her fingers on her forehead and going, Vance, please have fun, but in moderation.
No killing. Got it.
Well, not just no killing. Make sure you're not bringing attention to yourselves in a light that would bring attention to ourselves.
I will monitor them. But if we go, I do need to change because I look like Night of the Living Dead.
But you are Night of the Living Dead, my dear.
I meant, you know, in a way that I probably shouldn't be walking around like that.
I like her.
And then Novelette looks over at Dorian and goes, she said she would monitor Vance, even though she came in looking close to death. How are you planning on monitoring them as well?
Monitoring? I'm not their parent. I have no responsibility to them.
As you say that,
Also,
she
we
gets
gotta-
hold on. As you say that, she straightens up in her seat and goes, "Are you telling me that you have no responsibility to those who you call friend?"
That's not what I said.
Because it seems to me that's exactly what you said, Dorian. Please elaborate. And you see her just like unbutton the top two buttons of her shirt, and she stretches her back shoulders.
I meant that I will support them, but make sure they don't get into breaking masquerade trouble.
And she just looks at you for just a little bit and goes, damn, and buttons her buttons back up and relaxes. All right, Vance, have fun with these two. And the three of you
Yes, ma'am.
get home before sunrise.
Vance is gonna look down at his shirt and go, we should probably stop at the home because my shirt's destroyed.
Novelette, if you see my sire, Virgil, can you let him know that I'd like to speak with him and if he could drop by where we live at some point?
Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah. We all heard what he said, and I'm sure you're a bit touched by that. If you want, I'd gladly pass the message on, but he seemed to be in a foul mood the last we saw him.
Yes, and I think that I need to iron that out if we're going to have a good sire and whatever the hell I am relationship.
Fair enough, Morgana. Fair enough. I'll pass your message on. And she leans
Thank you.
back and starts draining the rest of her goblet.
Vance will kind of look at her and be like, you should leave a message for me as well. Just
I'm not going to do that.
well, to Novelette. He's just like,
Don't do that. No. Well, I'm full. And whatever with this guy. She's just gonna like kick him and then walk over to Dorian.
Okay.
Vance steps back and just watches the body drop and goes, I don't think he's got anything left.
Right then.
No, imagine if Morgana just like goes down to like finish him off and it's like
Nice.
I think that was comedy gold. Sorry.
We're going to jump
That
back to
was.
Ambrose.
If Ambrose looks down, could he tell what the tattoos on the Zamishi are?
Oh no,
The
those are scars, not tattoos. Or scars.
scars. Okay. Could he tell what exactly they are? If they're claw marks or bite marks or anything like that?
Do you have any dots in medicine?
1.
Give me intelligence medicine, difficulty 7.
Okay. Two successes out of 3.
They are perfectly straight. They are like perfectly almost surgical, so you can tell they're definitely from some form of a blade. And they look fairly new. So the fact that a kindred has fairly new scar marks is kind of interesting to you because it shouldn't be happening.
What you're doing, it's lovely. You remind me of a sculptor. But as to your question, what exactly are you trying to do? As he's looking at the scars, staring at them.
And he, as you say that, he reaches behind underneath his jacket and pulls out a blade. And he goes, "We've been retrofitting our blades with a UV light along the sharpest part of each knife. It's coming with some quite interesting... Anyway, what were we saying?"
I have even more questions now. For someone trying to perfect oneself, you're also scarring and marring yourself? I am terribly confused about this.
The only way for perfection is to have mistakes to correct.
Yes, of course. But then if one is perfect, where do you go from there?
Physically perfect we can change, yes, but there are things beyond physical perfection that we strive to achieve.
And as he's talking, Ambrose is just leaning closer to him, becoming more interested. And what is it that you want to achieve?
I have achieved much in my time, but there are some in our clan who have achieved even more. Some of us here in the kindred community call us monsters. I will agree to this. Only a true monster or beast could perform the things that we have done. This is something we should not speak of in public, though. It kind of turns one's stomach.
Your clan, they do this?
Yes.
You see, I think I may have done something like this. I'm a few days old, 3, 4, I don't remember. But my friend Dorian... Well, it all happened so fast, you see. We were on a mission, and suddenly I was grabbing somebody, and then in my head, in my very soul, I heard something. I didn't see it. Everything went black, and I just heard something that told me to mold and break and reconstruct. And then when I came to, there was blood everywhere. It was the most awful thing I've ever seen. Dorian said I did it. I don't think I'm not capable of that.
Very, very interesting. Tell me, you did this to someone else?
I suppose Dorian wouldn't joke about this. I don't think he wouldn't joke about this. No. So I must have.
Very interesting. And he puts his hand around your shoulder and your neck and brings you close and says, "I would very much like for you to spend the evening with me so we can talk about few different things. And then he brings his blade up to his knife, his blade up to his face, as you see a light shine at his face, and he winces as he draws the blade down. And you can see like a singe mark across where the cut is. He puts the knife back behind his back underneath the jacket and goes, "Again, you can't have perfection without imperfection."
Indeed. And you've just ruined yours. Never mind. Well then, take me with you, I suppose. Oh, perhaps I should tell the others. No, wait. You said that the things that your kind do, our kind, your coven, that it was monstrous, that perhaps other vampires might fear it?
Again, we should not speak of such things in this area. If you wish to learn, we can talk. But not here, Ambrose, not here.
I don't think I want them to know just yet. All right, I'll go with you.
All right.
Let's leave quickly before they see us.
And he starts leading you away. But as you're being led away, you realize that he was the one vampire. Now that you realize the exact location of where you two are, he's the one kindred who was looking at the Room of Pain. He was the one that was standing there in the sanctum trying to see inside the Room of Pain. So you two are walking away now towards the main entrance. Okay, jumping back to the other group. You guys make your way out of the private room and through the main dance floor and everything. People are trying like grind and bump and dance up around and whatnot, and you're just like shoving them away. And Vance, like, this is your scene, so you're like moving and grooving, but at the same time, like you're hip checking people out of the way and throwing elbows.
Oh, you mean what I do in an actual concert?
Yes. And you're kind of like parting the way, and like Morgana goes like right behind you in the wake of the destruction that you're causing. And you guys go outside, and Darius is still there. He has not left from when he dropped you guys off about an hour ago. At this point, it's been.
Okay.
I guess.
No, please go ahead.
No, it's fine.
No, I was just gonna go and all right. So it's the four of you, eh? What about the pretty one?
Did you see Ambrose at all?
I didn't when we were inside, no.
I can just go check real quick if you want.
Oh, all right.
Okay, she's gonna go and quickly head back inside, just kind of to make quick time.
Sure. So by the time that you get inside and make your way up, once again through the crowd, up and up and up, and you're on the catwalk, you see the elevator door opening, and Ambrose walks out with this very elegant-looking gentleman with a very pointed goatee and manicured face.
Okay. I guess she'll be like, Ambrose, and approach. She's wearing her cool ass new leather jacket that she stole.
And Ambrose turns abruptly. Morgana.
Who's this?
Why aren't you...
My name is Xavier.
Okay. Very very fancy. I'm taking notes. Okay. And I've never seen you before.
You have, but just not this good looking. You may have seen me as this, and he takes his hand and he just rubs it across his face, and it changes into a different person that you had seen in just passing in the sanctum on one of the other occasions you walked through.
He's doing the same thing that you were doing, Ambrose.
Nonsense.
Very
is she-
interesting. As he pulls Ambrose a little bit closer to him.
Right. Well, sorry to interrupt whatever this is, but I was going to ask, Dorian is going to a casino, and he wanted to see if any of us wanted to join, and we didn't want to leave without you. Do you want to go?
Well, I decided. No, I don't. I found somebody that I'd have a little fun with tonight. Morgana, my dear. Why don't you go off with the others tonight?
Okay. Have fun with Mr. Tumnus, whatever looking. Yeah. She's gonna turn around and walk off.
She looked at Ambrose and goes, "What is a tumnus?"
The goatee.
God, if I know. But you look devilishly handsome. Never mind her. Let's go. You've already said too much. Why did you say that, Xavier?
She asked. I just answered.
Yes, but I don't want them to know about this yet. Any more than they already know.
And then he pulls you yet even closer. Now you are like attached to his chest, and you feel his forearm and his bicep tighten around your neck a bit, and he goes, "You want answers. I will give them to you. This is something that you shall not hide. Do not ever be afraid or disgusted in what you truly are. You should be proud and openly joyous of who you are, Ambrose Windsor. Tonight, you will learn."
But that's the thing. I don't know who I am. You keep speaking and doing these things. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. God, you're gorgeous. But let me go.
He lets you go. We're going to go back to the other party real quickly. Morgana has now made her way back outside.
She doesn't really say anything. She just walks over and gets in the car.
And Darius goes, "All right, didn't need to open that door. You all heading in now?"
I guess so.
All right then. He opens up the side doors, lets you guys get in, shuts it behind you, and then gets in the driver's seat. Is anyone sitting up front with him?
Vance can this time.
Okay, sure, Vance, you'll go up front. Cool. He starts, actually, he opens the window behind and goes, "All right, where are we headed to?"
The home, the apartment.
Well, it's called the Enclave. I think that if you're going to live there, you might as well know the name, right? The Enclave. Say it with me now.
Home.
Follow the bouncing ball. The
Yes, you're not a
Enclave.
teacher.
The
We know what
home.
it's called.
Hey,
thank
he's the one that knows what the name is, so he can be whatever he wants right now.
Listen to your friend, all right? Listen to D over there. The double D's know what's going on here, eh?
You two terrify me together.
I knew the name.
All right, what is it?
The Enclave.
Good for you! And he starts slamming on the gas and just like books it into the traffic.
Vance out of spite is gonna be like, the home.
He starts going there like, lickety split fast. You guys pull up to outside of the Enclave. You make your way past Doorman Dave, and Doorman Dan, and you enter. And Moira is there waiting for you, smiling as always, tablet in hand. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. And oh man, she's like covered in blood. She's just gonna wave and rush past to go clean up.
Okay. So you're all just running into your rooms to go clean up and change and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say that all happens and everything. Is there anything specific you want to grab? Anything you want to do at the Enclave before you head out?
Yes. Can I can I message you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not in the game though.
No. Yes, I'm going to message God.
Just an SOS to God.
Please help me. Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Does anybody else want?
He'll leave his weapons behind.
Oh, okay.
He knows that going into the casino is not going to be able to bring him in anyway, so it's whatever.
Okay. Vance.
Vance is just gonna clean himself up, glance at a hidden space in his room, and then skip out to the area,
Gotcha.
main area.
Gotcha. Okay. Miz, are you putting it on Discord or are you sending it to me in
I'll DM you.
Oh, there it goes.
Cool.
Cool. Yep, that can absolutely happen.
Cool. Yep. She comes down. She's wearing black because I've had her wear white like way too much for someone who goes and eats people.
All right. As you guys are heading your way through, Mori goes, well, that'll be all then.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Back.
I'll see you when you return then. Making your way down. And as you get to doorman, Danny goes, man, those costumes and special effects of that gore, it just gets better every time I see you guys. Like, I need to see this movie when you're done filming, because that's clearly what you're doing here. I get it now. You guys are actors. I totally get it. I know you can't tell me anything, but like when you're all said and done, just remember old Danny boy, huh?
Well, you know Marvel and those NDAs.
What?
Oh, come on. You can't say anything. Come on, let's go.
You're right.
All right. When you guys get in, Cassandra hadn't gone upstairs with you. She still stayed in the car. And when you guys get back in, Darius goes, well, we're going to make a pit stop. We're going to drop a you-know-who at the you-know-where. Lovely place that it is. And then where we headed to?
It is called, I know this, because you sent it to me.
Going to the Yonkers one?
Yonkers Raceway Park. Yeah, that's the one.
Cool. Yes. Oh, all right. If you don't mind, I might play around with y'all. And he starts heading off to the Malkavian Sanctum, jumping over to Ambrose. You guys get outside into the night air, and he starts. Oh, I'm sorry. You just push yourself aside from him, and so he starts walking down by himself, leaving you behind him. And you see, as you're looking at him, it kind of looks like out of the back of his head, a hand comes out and just goes and dips back in.
Ambrose is stunned for a moment and then runs to his side. Xavier, might I tell you a secret now that we're sort of alone?
And he looks around at all the people in the club, even though the music is loud and everything. He goes, yes, alone. Whatever you say, Ambrose, and shoves his hands deep into his pocket.
Well, and he gets close to him and hooks his arm around his waist. Well, it's a filthy secret. It's deplorable, really. But, I wasn't repulsed when I heard the voice. I wasn't, sickened by it or anything. Quite the opposite, really. When it told me to, well, he lowers his, or he gets closer to his ear and whispers in, when it told me to tear and mold and design. That's the word. Design. It keeps popping into my head. I didn't feel afraid or repulsed by the voice. It felt like the climactic peak of ecstasy. I felt like I was alive again. Does that make
Oh,
sense?
Ambrose, Ambrose, Ambrose. You definitely had a good first time, didn't you?
I don't. It wasn't like that. I don't enjoy hurting people, not naturally, but in that moment, it felt good, and I wanted to keep doing it.
And he stops and then looks at you and says, "So you only like hurting people unnaturally, then?" And he grabs you by your collar and starts like pulling you behind him, and just falling forward. He brings you out to the night air, looks around. There's a good amount of people around, forming the line, getting dropped off, trying to find parking. That's all on one side of the building. And on the other side of the street is just open with just a few people speckled here and there. And he starts walking down that direction. And he says, "So you heard the word design, did you? Tell me, Ambrose, aside from designing clothing, what else do you think you could design?"
Now I'm not sure, but in that moment, anything, everything. The word design I used to use with clothing, but this went far beyond that. Still physical, alive, something beating, something alive. Creating, designing something alive.
Interesting, interesting, interesting. Come with me. We're gonna go to a rather uninhabitable area. And he starts leading you down to the furthest piers on the West Side Highway. It's about a good 30-minute walk from where you are. So during this time, you guys are just having very small talk while you're passing people. But other than that, he stays fairly quiet. Every once in a while, you'll see him reach in and look at himself in the mirror, and he'll smudge his thumb over that knife wound, and it'll close up, but it'll have a scar there now where that matches the scars in his forearm. All right, real quick, we're gonna jump over. Cassandra had been dropped off at this point, and she's now inside her sanctum. And she told you guys that she's gonna go off and train with Liam, make sure that he's okay and well taken care of, and see if Farah can give her some more training and help her understand better what it means to be the vessel of Malkav. After he drops you up, Darius then goes, "All right." Excuse me. He goes, "All right. Let's go steal some people's money." And he starts driving you guys down into the Yonkers. Yonkers is about a good, from here, it's about actually it's in the Bronx, so you're probably about 10 minutes away. Yep, you're about 10, 15 minutes away to Yonkers Raceway Park. As you're driving down 95, you see this huge racetrack with a large building attached to it on the right-hand side of the highway. He pulls in, and it's just completely jam-packed. The cars are every single parking space, legal and illegal. The valet are swinging back and forth, running around. Darius hops out of the car, lets you guys out, and then goes, "I'm not letting a single one of these pricks touch me car. Stay right here. We're going in together, all right? This is a team effort." And he hops back into the car, and you hear him just like peel off like the screeching tires. He rushes as he sees one of the valets pulling out of a spot so he can try and grab it.
Are we about to get bonding session with Darius?
I think this is good. This is good.
No, I like it.
I wasn't really expecting the human to join us, but I guess we can bond a little with our driver.
Who knows? It sounds like he's super excited for this, and he
the
needs it.
least, It's the least we could do for the bullshit we put him through.
I guess.
I'm sure
Also,
you won't judge.
ignore the fact that I don't have my accent for the rest of the night. Just move on from it. Okay?
I was not going to acknowledge it, but now I feel the need to.
Nope.
What accent?
Vance gets it.
Wow.
Darius now comes rushing over, and you hear the clip clop of his shoes as he's rushing along the asphalt to get to you. He goes, "All right, I look a little out of place, but I don't give a shit. All right, let's go." And he starts marching in very steadfast. And you guys are all marching behind him: Vance, Morgana, Dorian. And then Dorian, the space between the entrance and where you are kind of gets closed off by two large bouncers who, shoulder to shoulder, are closing off the entranceway, looking at you.
Hello again.
And they just like give you like a gruff like nod. "Hey, Dorian."
Is there a problem? I'm here to spend some money.
"You here to spend money? Or you here to steal money? Or are you here to fight? Or are you here to try and swindle us? You've been here enough times for us to understand. We've been through this with you 3 times now, Dorian. The boss has his eyes on you, and we were told if we see you again, to just give you this as your last warning."
Oh, well, not to worry. That was never intentionally designed to harm anyone, or it wasn't really me. I mean, they're the ones who started the fight. I mean,
"Oh, them! How nice to hear about that." And you see them reach behind, and you hear from both of them behind their back the unmistakable sound of the barrel of a gun being cocked back. "So, like we said, no problems, right?"
right.
"Then welcome to the racetrack." And they move away just enough for you to shimmy between the two of them.
Uncomfortably.
Yeah. Vance and Morgana, you just caught the tail end of that.
Vance will kind of turn and be like, "Dorian," and then look at the bouncers and be like, "You promised just a good time with us. Nothing, no problems."
I promised I'd take you to the feeding grounds.
And Vance had said that loud enough so the bouncers could hear.
And I didn't.
Vance
Didn't think
lowers his
we'd be
voice.
in trouble.
Vance will just kind of lower his voice and be like, "So how many times have you gotten in trouble here? I'm curious now."
I mean, there's really only a few places I can go.
Morgana's leaning in, like, looking between them.
Besides, this is like the best spot, honestly. We'll be fine. It'll be okay. Listen, they can threaten me all they want. One, I'm never gonna get in enough trouble that they're gonna say no. Two, it is never my intention to cause fight. Well, okay, to start fights. I just instigate them. So they have no proof that I actually start fights. I just happen to get involved in every one that is around me.
Vance should be shaking his head and go, "Man, I really
know
wish I
what?
met you sooner."
You know what I'd call that, Dorian?
Mm.
Enabling.
Call it whatever you want. We're gonna go play cards.
Okay.
Darius is like, "All right, come on, let's go, you chaps, let's go, hurry up now." And he's like very eagerly hopping back and forth on his feet and like looking around like a kid in a candy shop. "Oh, no, blackjack, no, craps. No. What are we playing?
I don't play the games usually, I just watch.
That's fucking boring.
I know, so maybe you could teach me or something. I don't know.
You don't know how.
I wasn't expecting to have to teach you nothing here tonight. All right, well, that just ruins everything. All right, let's go.
What was it? Frick. What a baby. Yeah.
Vance will pipe up. I mean, she could be kind of a distraction so that you guys can win more.
Oi, 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 oi. I'm not having up any part of that. No, no, no. You see all those cameras over there? They're watching everything. I'm not getting fucked tonight. Well, maybe I am, but that's a whole different story.
I was about to say.
Stay far away from Dorian then.
And he looks over at Dorian and goes, all right, Mike, come on, please. Please, we thought we were just here to have casino night. I honestly thought we were just going to, win some money and then be done with it.
We are
offended. How dare I'm here totally for the fun. I come here all the time. Don't listen to her, Darius. We'll be okay. Let's have some fun.
All right, all right.
Have I been here before, by the way?
I don't know. Does your character ever gamble before?
I mean, she usually is with the people who would come to gamble.
Then she probably has been here.
Okay.
All right.
Just one.
So what game are you guys going to go play?
Poker.
Are you going for... Okay. Are you doing Texas Hold'em?
Texas Hold'em.
Okay. You guys head over to the table, and we're going to jump back to Ambrose. As you are walking with Xavier, Ambrose, you see him playfully taking one finger and just molding it into his hand and just drawing little things on his hand as it indents inward. And then you see him just like pull at the air, and then the indents then fill up with blood, and it starts to dance in the shape that it molded to. So we'll say like he drew like a very rough looking giraffe, and then he pulled the blood into his palm, and the giraffe stood up on his palm and just started dancing around.
Ambrose is very enchanted, and he just starts to laugh a little bit. I don't know how you did that, but I have a question. Xavier.
Then he
leans in.
squeezes the giraffe, and the blood just like squishes out and back into him. He goes, "And what's your question?"
Oh, I think I have more questions now. God, that was wonderful. No, that wasn't. Xavier, my dear, if I kissed you, if I put my hands under your clothes and touched your flesh, would I hurt you? Am I allowed to touch anybody ever again?
Of course you can touch whoever you like. You can do whatever you like. You are kindred. You are a walking god. However, of course, you can also hurt someone if you wish. If you touch me, and he puts your hand on his forearm, your touch does nothing for the time being, which is why we're heading over here. As you see, there's an overpass of the highway, and underneath, you see a small community of homeless people with their boxes and their garbage, not their garbage, their shopping carts and their small tents and whatnot. And he makes like a very direct path over to that area. And he says, "Choose one."
I'm not thirsty, Xavier.
Neither am I. We're not here to feed, my friend. We're here to learn.
What am I going to do with them when I pick one?
What you described to me about your night out with your friends, we're going to control that. We're going to learn the basics of molding the flesh and bone to your command. We're going to learn how you can become a true designer. We're going to alter one of these unfortunates.
I don't know why that fills me with pleasure. I think I'm a deviant. Well, what about that one there? She has lovely skin. It's dirty, but it's lovely.
Very well. And he makes his way over towards the woman that you pointed to. She's fair of face, but still you could see she's had a rough 2 or 3 years where you can tell she's been living on the street. Fell victim to the abuse and the drugs and everything that happens to people who are left to the terribleness of New York City without a support group, a home, finances, or anything of the like. And he sits down and speaks to her while you're standing from afar watching. Reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a wad of cash. Points it at her and just nudges back as he puts the money back into his pocket. You see her like reflexively reaching out for the money and then pulling back when she sees that's no longer there. And she nods and takes his hand as he picks her up, and she walks over towards you with him hand in hand. Ambrose, this is our new friend Alicia.
Alicia.
Yes, yeah, you're Ambrose Windsor, aren't you?
Not at all. No. Just
No, I
someone who
know your
looks-
face. I know your face. You've been everywhere. You've been on every show that I've ever seen. You've been on every runway that I've ever followed. You're really him. Where have you been? Now, Alicia. Those questions are not important. We will definitely have more fun. What we have planned. You do want this money. You just need to hang out with us. It's simple as that. Isn't that right, Ambrose?
Ambrose goes towards the girl and sort of links arms with her. I was in your state just a few days ago, living under bridges, doing things to get by, and I thought perhaps I might help you. We could help each other. Would you like that?
And she starts to
Help each other.
swoon as you're saying this and like turns to putty on your side. She's like, please, Ambrose. Don't be joking with me. This terrible life is too much. If you're honestly here to help me, I will do anything. I don't even need to be paid. Please. And she like holds on to you like desperately onto your arm. Please make it all go away.
I can do that. I can do that. We could help each other. I could help transform you, my dear. Would you like that? Would you like to be transformed?
And she starts to weep a bit, and you look over at Xavier, and he's giving you the evilest, sadistic grin you've ever seen. But it fills you with just pure joy seeing that, because you and him are speaking the same language to this poor woman who just thinks that you're there to save her. And with that, everybody, we're going to take a 15-minute break. We will see you all back in 15.
Horrible. Naughty.
Yep. Sorry, everybody.
this.
See you soon. 1 second, everyone.
Naughty, naughty, naughty.